So imagine waking up in the morning to a bright new day and switching on the TV to get yourself updated with the activities of the day, and you see this.
Looks just like any other guest arriving for his breakfast, but he isn't. He detonates his bomb and disappears in a flash.
So then when you come back from work, you decide to chill. You will take a glass of wine, or in my case something called maybe juice, and relax by the TV to see how things are going. And then over the weeks, every morning, every evening, this very same information keeps being exposed to you. And as you wake up from bed, as you go to bed, the same thoughts that are in your head keep happening because of the media that is exposing them to you. So today we are going to be talking about how the media is ruining your life. So first things first, people were born empty, people were born blank. A little baby has a very innocent mind and a very pure spirit and a very kind soul. But because of the world that they grew up in, the influences and the challenges that they come across, and the opinions from other persons, cause them to become who they finally end up being in the future. So the media, the news stations, the TV channels that expose news to you, they are there to ruin your life. They don't do it intentionally, but they are actually ruining your life. Imagine you waking up to a bright new day with new spirits and fresh ideas in your mind, and you feel new, you feel green, you feel natural, and immediately switch on your TV. This negativity begins to flood into you. This information about deaths and floods and this negative sort of ideas and things that are happening around the world are being flooded into your head. People are dying in several parts of the world, and they just gather all this information in the mainstream and they are feeding you with it every day. These news channels, BBC, CNN, they constantly feed you with this negative information. Now, when this happens, the truth is, it is possible to stay positive, but the tendency is higher that your mind is going to be dirty, your mind is going to be infected, your mind is going to be corrupted, just like a virus, just like what a virus does to your computer. So every morning when you get up and you expose yourself to this information, to the news, and you see these negative things happening, you see these bad things happening all around the world, because the news is run by negative things. If people put positive things on the news, I bet you almost no one is going to watch it. But once negative things go on the news, almost everybody is watching it. And because of that force that drives the news channels, that negative information, or that, should I say, biased information that drives the news channel, they are there to put negative ideas in your head. They are there to put down your spirit. That positive energy, that positive vibe that is flowing out from inside you every morning when you wake up from bed is not there, because the news channels have obviously corrupted your mind. When you live in a negative environment, it is very, very possible, it is like 80% possible that you will have negative thoughts. And when you expose yourself constantly to negative things and to negative mindsets and to negative opinions, the higher chances are that you are going to become a negative person. Like the law of nature says, positivity attracts positivity and negativity attracts negativity. So when you listen to the news, when you watch what is happening, these bad things that are happening everywhere around the world, in Cameroon, in Nigeria, in Rwanda, South Africa, America, all these parts of the world, and you begin to feed your mind every morning with this negative information, the tendency is that once you start your day becomes negative. Imagine waking up with that freshness, and then just out of a sudden everything just crumbles down and you just hear about people's deaths, and gradually that is programmed in your mind. I usually say, as a computer engineering student, that the CPU is not like a brain. The brain is like a CPU because it is gradually being programmed over time. The things that you listen to or the things that you open your mind up to hear are the things that actually are planted in your mind, like programming code. And at the end of the day, those things are executing. When you're sleeping, they're processing, and by the time you wake up the next day, you see that part of what you were yesterday has come into the next day as a result of processing through the night. So what I'm saying is, the media, the news channels, they are negative. That's the simple truth. I mean, somebody should hear this. Somebody should hear this. They are negative. They feed you negative information. They make you feel negative. They expose you to negativity, and because of that, your life is just what it is today. Your life is just what it is. So, remedy. How do you handle this issue? How do you handle this issue? The first thing I do is that I stop myself from watching the news. I stop myself from watching the news. That does not mean that I am not informed. That does not mean that I don't know the latest ongoings in the world. I've subscribed to a website that gives me the very important information that I have to know, and kind of filters this negative, this biased information, and keeps it somewhere else, because I do not need it. As a positive person, as the leader of the Titus AB squad, I am a positive person, and because I want to be positive, I have to rid myself of all forms of negativity. All that information is strictly negative, and it will just spoil my mindset. It will just spoil the vibe that is flowing. So if I were to give you an advice on an issue like this, first I will drink my juice, and then I will tell you that you should also cut yourself from watching too much of the news, because when you watch too much of the news, what I've already said just keeps happening to you, and because it keeps happening to you, you want to watch it more. It's like putting someone in a loop, right? A loop, and at the end of the day, you start, you come back to the same point, you start, come back to the same point, you start, you come back to the same point, but you keep wanting it. You keep wanting, what happened to him? How did he die? How did the building collapse? How did the flood occur? How many people died? All that information you keep wanting to know. So first things first, detach yourself from too much of the news. Detach yourself from too much of the news. Too much of the news is not good for you. It's good to be updated and to know what's going on around the world, but also it is not good to spoil your mindset and to corrupt your brain, because when you corrupt your brain, you corrupt your whole body, and when you corrupt your whole body, what happens to you? I don't know. God knows. Whatever happens to you, but it is not good. It is not good. So we have seen today that the media, the news channels, radiate negativity. They radiate negative vibe, and they radiate negative energy. And in order to rid yourself of that negative energy, you have to actually take a concrete step of abstaining from the news in order to refresh your mind, to awaken your positivity that is built down within you. So thank you for making it to this point of the video. I would like to know your ideas or your thoughts in the comment section below. Go ahead and leave them down there, and we are going to review them. If you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Just go ahead and subscribe, and turn on the notification button, so that each time we upload a new video, you're going to be updated, instead of being updated by the news channels. Be updated by us, be updated by positivity. So have a nice day.